Buenos dias, good morning country collectors, and welcome to state number 21.
Whoa!
We have made it to Baja California, and more specifically, its largest city, Tijuana.
We know this place has a pretty bad reputation.
Yeah.
When you hear the name, it probably conjures some crazy images in your mind. But like so many other places we've been in Mexico, there is another side to it, and today we really hope we can show you that.
Yeah, but before we jump in, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of our future adventures. This video is unlike our other videos. As you can see, we are sitting here talking to you. We're going to be doing a recap of our time spent in the city. You know, we got to explore on our own. We also got to do a tour with a local and spend time with our friends Richard and Michael, who helped us find that other side of Tijuana.
So let's jump into this thing. Nicknamed the corner of Latin America, Tijuana is home to over 2.2 million people and is considered to be one of the most diverse cities in all of Mexico, driven in part by its proximity to the U.S. border.
We read that there are over 100,000 crossings per day, making it one of the most busiest border crossings in the world.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
The streets are busy and there is action everywhere. The people are moving quick here, and we definitely felt a little bit of a sensory overload after coming from those beautiful laid-back beaches of Baja California Sur.
On our first day here, we booked an Airbnb experience with Natalie. Hi, Natalie. You know, we thought what better way to get to know a city than through the eyes and stories of a local.
Sounds good to me.
We met downtown in Plaza Santa Cecilia, which is one of the oldest parts of the city. It is from this very plaza that the city was born. Walking along this diagonal street, you will pass many craft stalls, restaurants, and clubs. As Santa Cecilia is the patron saint of musicians, you will also find a large presence of them here. Everything from mariachi to banda and norteño. And at the northern end, if you look down, you will find some handprints in the cement. These are from famous musicians who have visited and performed here in the square. It's pretty neat. And I especially love the papel picado all the way down the alleyway.
At the end of Plaza Cecilia, there is a monument that you cannot miss. Literally, it's that huge. Known as the Arco de Tijuana, or the Millennium Arch, it's one of the city's most important symbols of the 21st century.
It stands 60 meters tall and 34 meters wide. It can be seen from many different parts of the city, and it was built to not only welcome tourists, but also to welcome the new millennium.
I love that.
The arch is located at the beginning of Avenida Revolucion, which is the main street through the downtown. This is where you're gonna find all of these shops, pharmacies, restaurants, bars, and clubs that cater to tourists.
For many tourists, this is all that they see, which is a shame because there is so much more to Tijuana than that. We're gonna be showing you that in just a little bit.
Something very interesting we learned was that back during Prohibition in the US during the 20s and the 30s, Tijuana became known as a sin city because it was here where everybody flocked to, you know, imbibe and gamble, to have some fun, and Avenida Revolucion is where it went down then.
And still does to this day. Along this road, you will also find the colorful Tijuana sign, which, as you know, is a great place to snap a photo.
A bit down that main street, we made a left into Pasaje Revolucion, which was like an alleyway that led us down to all these little shops. Down there we had some breakfast, and we also got to meet local artist Edgar Miguel. Hola, Edgar. To say he is talented would be the understatement of the year.
Not only is he an incredibly talented painter, he also makes extremely lifelike sculptures like Walter White, the Joker, and even
Blue Demon.
Blue Demon. On one of the most popular lucha libres in Mexico's history. I was so impressed, I even bought this t-shirt that he actually painted for me on the spot. It was a really cool experience.
It sure was. Just across the way, you will find Pasaje Rodriguez. This is another really cool spot. It was actually built in the 20s to connect the avenues of Revolution and Constitution. And back then, merchants would set up shop, and they still do to this day. There's a really cool underground feel to it, a lot of murals down there.
And these two alleyways are just one example that showed us that Tijuana is filled with both artists and artisans.
Yes.
And back on Avenida Revolucion, you will find the iconic Cesar's restaurant, or Caesar's restaurant.
And guess what they're famous for creating?
Ding, 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 ding.
The Caesar salad. They start out handcrafting the dressing, which includes anchovies, egg yolk, olive oil, garlic, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, the hardest word in the English dictionary, lime, salt, and pepper. The romaine was then delicately folded in until the leaves were completely covered.
We also got some beef carpaccio to pair with it, and both of them were just melt in your mouth delicious.
We definitely recommend stopping by and make sure to head inside to check out the bar and the interior, the old photos. It transports you back in time.
Something else you can't miss here are the zonkies or zebra donkeys. There's a few along the road, and they are donkeys that are actually painted to look like zebras.
Yeah, it actually began back in 1914, but then they were just donkeys. But you know, back then, all the photography was black and white, so the donkey didn't stand out, so they went, what can we do? So they found some woman's hair dye and painted these lines on the donkeys to look like zebras to create that contrast, and it just stuck.
Must have been permanent hair dye because it's still going on to this day.
Yeah, so they became an icon of the city. Even their professional basketball team are called the Zonkies.
Go Zonkies!
After you're done enjoying time with the Zonkies, make sure to head down to the Collection Museum and Moulme. It was one of our favorite stops of our tour.
For sure. The Collection Museum is down on the first floor and was once a French restaurant in the 80s called Le Chateau. The renovations they did are remarkable, as you can still see the original floor, bar, and mirrors. This floor has over 12,000 pieces in varying collections that range from phone cards, toys, action figures, DC Marvel collectibles, and much more. It's super impressive.
And upstairs you will find the Mexican Museum of Lucha Libre, which is the only Lucha Libre museum in Mexico. The museum has over 6,800 pieces on display, including masks, hair, figures, and photos. They even have half a ring where you can have some fun and beat up your boyfriend.
Hey! Our guide, Sorel, even transformed in front of our eyes. You don't want to mess with this guy. It was such a fun place to spend time in.
And at the end of our tour, she took us to Habana, Tijuana, which was a cigar and hookah lounge. You can also enjoy some drinks. It just has a really cool environment. And something I loved about this tour, being our first time here in the city, like this spot we would have never found on our own.
No way.
It was kind of tucked away in a little plaza. So if it's your first time going here, we recommend checking her out. We'll leave a link to her experience down in the description.
The next day we met up with our friends Richard and Michael. You may remember them from our La Paz videos. They actually live in LA and come down to Tijuana quite frequently, so we were really interested to see their perspective on the city and what they love about it.
And we had quite a day.
We sure did.
We started out in Colonia Cacho with some mouth-watering birria tacos before stopping at a few cafes for kombucha and a cold brew. At this point, we already knew that this was the other side of the city that we were looking for. It's welcoming and relaxing with really fun, innovative, and quirky cafes and restaurants all over. It seemed like it was worlds away from the busy Avenida Revolucion.
It's in this area you can also find the Telefonica Gastro Park. Here you will find food trucks and stalls offering many options. The other day we popped in to get some seafood tostadas, but the best dish of the day was definitely the sausage from Umo. The owner, Giovanni, took time to explain to us the process and ingredients. He really pours his heart into the food, and you can taste it.
And in the back, there's a brewery as well. So if you're looking for an adult bevy, this could be the spot. It's definitely a fun place to check out.
Speaking of adult bevies, right around here you will also find the Aruba Day Drinking Bar, which is one of those hip, relaxed, understated bars that really knows its way around a craft cocktail.
We may have indulged a bit with Richard and Michael here, and we are happy we did.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we would have really missed out if we hadn't gone here, so put it on the list.
That afternoon, we also got to check out Mercado Hidalgo. If you come to TJ and don't come here, you are missing out. Here you will find pretty much anything you're looking for, including piñatas, produce, spices, cheese shops, candy shops, local crafts, and much more. It is quite large, so take your time browsing the stalls. I found a few fruit here that I hadn't seen anywhere else in the world. One is called Cherry Moya. It's green and kind of looks like an armadillo. I don't even know.
Like a dragon skin on it, yeah.
Yeah, it was really neat. And make sure to stop in the candy shop Catalina Dulceria. It's so bright bright and inviting with a fun place in the back for a photo op. They have some huge llamas.
And there's no problema to snap a few photos with them.
And if you're looking for a place to come to in Tijuana and learn a bit about the culture, the Tijuana Cultural Center fits the bill.
Absolutely. And I think it was such a nice surprise too, because so many people before we came here were like, don't go to TJ, there's no culture there, it's just a party spot. But you're wrong.
Yeah.
There's way more to it than that.
And we found it here. The first thing you will most likely see is this big round dome that is home to an IMAX theater. Inside the main building, you will also find Museo de las Californias, the Museum of the Californias, where you can learn a lot about the regional history of the peninsula. You'll also find some rotating exhibits, aquarium, and an outdoor garden with sculptures and much, much more.
You could easily spend an entire afternoon there. And it seems like on weekends they actually set up an outdoor market just outside the entrance where you can pick up some local goods and crafts.
So if you are interested in checking this place out, it is open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 until 7.
And something we learned is that Tijuana is actually a shopping destination for people that will come over from the States and spend the day just picking up some cool stuff. Right next to the Cultural Center is the Plaza Rio, which is this open air shopping mall that has some really cool stores as well as a couple of movie theaters.
Yeah, we also found this food park there. I think it was called Food Garden, right?
It was.
Adam got some delicious ramen, and my enchiladas were to die for.
Absolutely, and the atmosphere was just really cool.
And towards the end of the day, Richard and Michael took us to their hotel, which is called the Courts Hotel and Spa. And let me just tell you, we were very jealous.
They snuck us in and we got to go up and see their super modern room that not only has a great view, but the hotel has this heated pool and jacuzzi that's surrounded by this lush garden.
And that's something about TJ that we really like. You know, it caters to all types of travelers, no matter what budget you are on. You know, you can go quite affordable and then luxury.
Or super luxury.
Yeah.
Connected to the hotel is the park, which I can only describe as an upscale food court, but so much more. It was an experience as well.
Yeah, they have multiple kitchens and bars. What is really cool, what I really liked, is that many of the restaurants are smaller kitchens of the larger restaurants, like Caesar's, where we went and got the Caesar salad. Here in this food court.
It's a cart court.
Here in this food court, you can have the food cart roll up and make you the tableside Caesar salad there that you can enjoy. And then you can also enjoy some seafood from another one of your favorite restaurants.
It was really cool. They had a DJ. They had some really good craft cocktails there as well. And the sneaky friends of mine also got a dessert for my birthday, and the whole staff came out and even sang.
It's his birthday today!
Aww.
December 18th.
That's
Happy
right.
birthday.
Aw, thanks, babe.
So yeah, wonderful place to go. Put it on the list, the park.
Something else you may not know about Tijuana is that it is the world's 4th most popular medical destination, which means that over 2.7 million people a year come here to get procedures ranging from dental to plastic surgery.
Wow, and the Quartz Hotel and the food park that we were just talking about, they are located in the New City Medical Plaza. It has the medical building, then all of that is right there. So once you get your procedures done, you just go out, there's your hotel right there, then all your food. So it's a great place to recover.
Ooh.
We also learned what the BBL is, the Brazilian butt
What's
lift.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. Maybe I should get one of those for my birthday.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll sponsor that. So yeah, Tijuana is a very dynamic city, and like I said, we have learned a lot about this place.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. You can go there and get fat eating all the food and then get it all sucked out and stuck in your butt.
Oh my God. All right, moving on.
Something else that was amazing about our time with Richard and Michael is that for the entire day, all we ate were tacos.
You know he loved that.
You know I did. And the best place we went to was Tacos El Frank.
This place is an institution in Tijuana, and we can see why. We sat at the bar, which was an experience in itself. Right in front of us, they were cooking all the meat and preparing the tacos. And when you sit at the bar, you get treated like a VIP because they make your stuff right on the spot. You don't have to wait for it. I would say the carne asada and the adobada were my favorites.
Amazing. And we really want to say thank you to our good friends Richard and Michael for taking the time to come down and share their favorite parts of Tijuana with us. You know, I really feel like after spending that time with them that there is a revolution going on through food and art in this city that has just like transformed it from that place that you used to hear about back in the day that was just like dangerous and dirty and dingy.
But being responsible travelers, we can't skip over that part of it because that's definitely there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, where we stayed initially when we got there was on the wrong side of town.
Absolutely. And we met people who said, this is a very dangerous area. Don't go left. You know, it was near Zona Norte. So we're not going to skip over that and make you feel like you can go out without any inhibitions. Like you need to have your wits about you there.
Yeah, definitely don't get drunk and wander around in the streets at night. Ubers are readily available, so you can definitely get around safely at night.
Saying that, as we just showed you, there is a lot of beauty there as well too. So just, you know, be cautious
and
just take caution.
Keep an open mind because we met so many friendly people that were looking out for us. Like Angel, he's a local artist. He was painting next to where we were staying, and he was just like so kind, giving us tips and really like opened our eyes to the caution that we should take when we're walking around. Keep an open heart, but keep your head on your shoulders.
Yeah, and there are some other places that we went on our own that we would love to talk to you about.
One of them is the Catedral de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe. It's the main cathedral here in Tijuana and was constructed over 100 years ago. It's a fully functioning cathedral, so you can actually go there on Sundays for a mass if you want.
And also Playa Tijuana. I know when you may think of the city and not think of beaches, but to the west side is the Pacific Ocean. So we went over there one morning because, you know, I was really compelled to see the border wall. It is a border town, and I thought that it was just very important for us to go there and see the reality, to feel it, to kind of just sit there, look at it, and take it all in. As we got down there, we walked onto the beach along the boardwalk. There was some beautiful hearts, really colorful hearts with some murals on them. Then as we approached the wall, we saw it went out into the Pacific Ocean quite a bit. And of course, in true Mexican style, it was covered with color.
They had a park down at the end as well that had some more Tijuana letters, sculptures, a lighthouse, and so much more.
Yeah, on this side you can really feel the love and compassion, but also the stark reality of the political nature of things here. In the middle between the borders, there's something called Friendship Park, and we saw some signs that said open our park back up. It's a park that was built or made 51 years ago, which allowed people from Mexico and the United States to come together, you know.
Where grandparents could meet their kids, where fathers could see their children on the other side of the border. And I mean, I'm getting choked up too because, I mean, you hear about the wall, you hear about it in the news, and I mean, people joke about it, but when I was walking down the boardwalk and I saw that going out into the ocean, it crushed my heart a little bit. It was like the ocean was being separated, not just the people, not just our countries, but the ocean by this metal fence that just went out. And, you know, like looking through the fence, looking through the beauty on the Mexican side, it was just nothing but barbed wire and fence on the other side. And like, it hit me so deep. And, you know,
and like the art, you know, it was just so poignant. Like a lot of the stuff, it said like, todos somos migrantes, like we are all migrants. And, you know, it just had us really thinking, reflecting about everything that's been going on. And, you know, saying this, like, we understand why there has to be a divider.
I mean, going both ways.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just, it really hit us deeply.
You know,
and we definitely recommend coming down there when you are in Tijuana, because I think, like I said, it's an important aspect of getting to know the city.
For sure. We've fallen so deeply in love with this incredible culture and people. And, you know, it's just so strange when you're sitting there looking at it to think about how separate we are, how different we are, but also how alike we are.
But also the hate that people harbor for a whole country of people that are so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's sad
to me.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess this is the end.
I think on that note, we should end before we both break down into tears.
Yeah, but thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed this video of Tijuana, just seeing our side and hearing our, what we thought and our journey there.
And we hope that at least to a certain extent, we've shown you that other side of Tijuana.
Yeah.
Something that isn't just partying and drinking, which you can do there, but there is so much more.
Yeah, so thank you again. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to
Ling, 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 the bell.
We'll see you
next time.
Adios.